right, guys, this is Crazy Kev here. I'm here with John, Yannis. John, how we doing, my man?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. I can't complain. And, talk to us a little bit more about your fight that you had coming up. I know it just got canceled. Talk to us a little bit more about what kind of happened.
So, had a good camp. Everything was uh, just smooth. Uh, so I started. It ended up being about 8.5, 9 week camp. Uh, like I said, everything went smooth and everything was trucking along. Uh, had the best camp of my life. I truly felt. The bumps and bruises were at a very minimum. Um, Everything was like I said, moving forward great. Uh, did the weigh-ins, made the weight, championship weight. Myself and my opponent show up to the venue fight day in San Antonio at the Bowling Center at Techport, and then just was kind of going through the normal kind of fight day preparations. Hadn't even got my hands wrapped. It was probably about, if I could guess, maybe an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 30 minutes tops before the walk. My coach comes in and says that my opponent wasn't making the walk. And I thought he was joking. He never jokes with me, but for some reason, like, I've never had that happen to me. So I was like, are you serious? I was kind of just stuck, like shocked. Anyway, so that's how I found out. He said, yeah, he's not going to make the walk. Supposedly, uh, he caught an illness or something like that. And yeah, that's all she wrote, man.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's definitely crazy how that kind of went down for sure. And now, with that kind of happening, I mean, do you want to kind of run that back, or are you kind of looking to move past that and kind of get a new opponent?
Nope. We're moving past that. We're looking at another opponent. Hopefully, I could jump back in the camp pretty soon. But as far as, this last, kind of booking, man, I kind of got my own take on that. Uh, Me personally, even if I ain't feeling good, if I made the weight and I'm there, that's just my mentality. I come from a place where you knuckle up to get your respect, and there ain't no excuses as a man. It is what it is. At the end of the day, he fumbled a big old opportunity, and no, I'm not looking to get that one back. I'm not looking to book against him. If he ain't make the walk the first time, then it is what it is. We move forward. Somebody else is gonna get the shot, and who we're looking at, I feel, is way more worthy of opponent anyway, as far as resume goes, as far as what I like to see in somebody that I would love to fight. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's definitely important for sure, my man. And now, with you talking about building your resume a little bit, I mean, how many wins do you kind of think it takes to kind of get to that next level, like a UFC or something like that?
Uh, so for me in my career right now, I say one more win that looks like my last couple wins, a good finish. I feel like it's inevitable. I'll be fighting at the next level, the fight after. But you know, got to kind of figure some things out. But my plan is to uh, next fight make a highlight reel one more time, get a finish, and then get that call up. So that'll put me at 9-3, 5 finishes. And then, like I said, the resume that I've been able to build since I became pro speaks for itself. Um, been in wars, 3-round wars, fight of the years, fight of the nights, knockout of the nights, uh, high level opponents. Never cherry picked. Always said yes to what Fury had offered me. Uh, Never asked for another opponent. If anything, always asked for the harder opponents. So that's truly how my whole career has been. And since my second pro fight with Fury, so this next one will be my 11th fight with the promotion. Uh, I feel like I've done everything and showed everything I can, that, or as far as showed that I belong to at the next level, and so I feel like one more win will definitely put me in that run.
Yeah, no, no, I definitely agree. No doubt about it. And speaking about 2025, I mean, how active do you think you're going to be this year? How many fights do you think you're maybe going to have?
So I always shoot. I'll be satisfied with at least 3 fights, this year. Um, for 2025, four will be like amazing, you know. Considering factoring in like health and damage done in prior fights and things like that. But in a perfect scenario, 4 fights for 2025 would be amazing. Hopefully, two of them will be in the UFC. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, we'll see, man. I'm dreaming big, so I'm still chasing. So that means I'm still working hard, bro.
Yeah, no, no, I definitely hear you, no doubt about it. And speaking about working hard, I mean, when you're in the gym, I mean, who are maybe some of the best training partners that kind of push you to be the best version of you?
So my jiu-jitsu coach is one of my just greatest assets to my game. Him and my head coach, they uh, they put a lot of emphasis on game planning with me, kind of talking me through certain things that they see, but still giving me like all the freedom in the world to do the hard work. And my training partners, some of my training partners that I do a lot of the sparring rounds with, live wrestling rounds with. Mateo Gonzalez, he fights for Peak at 135. He's fought a couple times at 145. Derek Campos, Bellator vet. Um, I get a lot of work in with him. He's a guy that pushes me just with that grit, grind style. Luis Luna. Uh, this past camp, I did a lot of work with Jonathan Martinez that fights out of Plainview, where I'm at as well. Um, there's quite a bit of guys for sure, but for the most part, I have a solid training regimen with good training partners. They always push me. I feel like everybody I work with, whether they're pros or amateurs, I always got something to learn and pick up and utilize in my game. So get good work in regardless.
Yeah, no, it's definitely important that you're getting good work in, no doubt about it. And speaking about getting good work in, I mean, what's kind of the vibe like? I mean, what kind of music do you listen to when you're in there training and whatnot?
So my music list looks like so. Really, I put on Big X right now. I'm real big on Big X the Plug. Rich Homie Quan is like one of my favorite artists. RP to him. Uh, a lot of times, I listen to like old school '90s rap as well, '90s and 2000s. Biggie, Tupac, Bone Thugs, uh, kind of Game. I'm everywhere, but it's pretty much hip hop. The Game, 50 Cent, Lil Wayne, Kodak Black to Young Boy. So I got a hip hop mix. So usually when I show up to the gym on my Spotify, I just find my mix, hit play, and just get to work, bro. So
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I definitely like it. That's definitely some good stuff there, no doubt about it. And another thing I was curious about as well too. Obviously, you're a beast and whatnot in the cage, but what do you typically like to do outside the cage when you're not in there training and fighting?
So really, I don't have any hobbies at all. So I work a full-time job, right? Uh, I work 50 to 60 hours a week. I train 7 days a week. Uh, I guess kind of just on my chill time, man, I'm just relaxing with my kids, hanging out with the wife, just chilling with the family at home. Pretty much just hanging out, man. It's all work. After work, grinding hard in the gym, and then just repeat. You know what I mean? But right now, since I'm kind of lax with the training for this next month, I plan to go watch a couple movies. I don't even know what's out. I'm so stuck in the game, bro. Just grinding hard and just training, chasing this dream, bro. That yeah, I literally don't have any hobbies at all. I like to stay grounded in the church that I go to. So I make sure pack the family up. We go to church. That's just something that we do. Um, and what I do as the leader of my household. Other than that, man, I want to be in the gym. So I might catch a couple movies, uh, maybe catch a couple, pick up basketball games at the YMCA or something. But other than that, man, just working, training.
Fair enough. No, I definitely hear you there. And when it comes to kind of having like a job and also being like a fighter, I mean, how do you kind of balance that lifestyle, man?
There's no balance, bro. It's there's there's no balance, man. I've been a wind technician, so I'm a wind technician. I work on the wind turbines. I've been in the I've been in wind for going on 5 years, so pretty much my whole pro career. Uh, I work anywhere from 8 to 10 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week, and I'll get home, nap about an hour, and then train for 3 every day, twice on
Jeez.
Saturdays, and run on Sundays. So yeah,
Yeah.
bro,
Well,
there's no balance. It's just work and more work. Wake up, do it all over again. But
yeah.
I've learned to to love the grind. Like I truly embrace it. Like I tell everybody, like I don't want to be anywhere else. I want to be in the gym working. That's truly how I feel. Uh, I don't know much about anything as far as hobbies go. Like I said, I want to be in the gym. That's where I belong. If I'm not in the gym, then I kind of feel like that's an unbalance to me. You know what I'm saying? Being outside of the gym is an unbalance to me for sure. And yeah, bro. So really, that's what it looks like on a day-to-day basis. Work, gym, Sunday rest, run at night, start it all over again.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. I like it. And talking about the gym, what was it kind of like your first day on the mats? Talk us a little bit more about your first day training.
Okay, so I I've been wanting to. So I've been an MMA fan since mid 2000s. Um, I grew up in the streets. Kind of misguided as a youth. Got into a lot of trouble coming up. Uh, just did a lot of things that a lost uh, a lost kid would do, all the way up through my teenage years. Um, and then I just remember after after graduating high school, I just got to work, and as I was working, I still had that will to compete, and I just remember being 21 or 22, you know, thinking like, man, I know I could fight because I got a reputation from where I'm from fighting, and I'm an MMA fan. I used to get I watched all the pay-per-views and still do to this day, uh, for many years. So I just remember searching up an MMA gym where kind of close to where I was living, and found one. It's the same dojo that I'm at now, and I remember walking in, and it happened to be a sparring day. And as I was talking to my head coach, Tommy Alcazar, I remember just letting them know like, hey, uh, I'm looking to start training. I eventually want to get inside the cage to do MMA. Um, yeah, like how do I be like where can I start? And so he was working with the kids at that particular time. So I remember him like telling me to go to the back and just hit the bags. That today was a sparring day. That day was a sparring day, and I remember specifically he was like, "But go ahead and just hit the bags until I go and meet you there. I don't want you to get hit in the face and feel like it's not for you, and then leave and never come back." So when he said that, me and my nephew actually went with me, and my nephew knew how I came up, like street fighting after street fighting. And so I just looked at my nephew and I was like, "Oh, this dude don't know who he's talking to. He don't know who he's talking to." So I went straight to where the guys were sparring at, and I just asked one of the guys who were sparring, uh, "Hey man, can I get in there?" And he was like, "Yeah, come on." So I had a mouthpiece that I had bought. I went prepared, right? I had my boxing gloves, and I didn't have shin guards at the time, but I had a mouthpiece and boxing gloves, and threw on some extra shin guards they had. threw the boxing gloves on, threw the mouthpiece in, and I remember he came around the corner and seen me in there, and me and this guy were just slugging it out, man. Both of us were bleeding, and he was like, "Well, I guess you didn't listen to me. You want to start fighting, huh? Come back tomorrow." So anyway, that was what the first day looked like. Uh, it was a pretty interesting time. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, no, it definitely sounds like a good time, no doubt about it. And you mentioned that you like to watch a lot of the UFC. I mean, who are maybe some of your favorite fighters that you like to watch?
So Tony Ferguson was, man. He was a guy that, first of all, the person who made me want to fight. Period. That's in the UFC. Like even before making decision to do MMA, I was still fighting in the streets. I was just a big old fan, and he just made me want to fight. He made fighting like glorious to me. Anderson Silva, my personal, just all time favorite, my personal goat. Uh, Somebody I've always looked up to. Like just I just remember his run, his highlights, just him fighting. So Anderson Silva was the fighter that made me want to even fight. Period, whether in or out the cage, right? And then, but Tony Ferguson, in his prime, I'm still rocking with him. But Tony Ferguson in his prime was somebody that, yeah, definitely any fighter would want to, kind of tread those kind of same grounds mentally. Just a dog, and the damage that he does. I'm trying to make my opponent's face look like how prime Tony's was, right? Every fight. So anyway, Tony Ferguson, of course, John Jones. You gotta love the GOAT. Uh, I like uh, Vicente Luque, Wonderboy Thompson. Man, I'm just a fan of so many fighters. George Masvidal, Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor. Whenever he was doing his thing. Right now, I really like. He just fought too this past weekend. Uh, he's part of the Nerd Club. Lord. His fight name
Oh,
is Lord.
Gene Silva.
That dude is a monster.
It,
I
it,
like
it
his fighting style. I rock with him, and also the other guy too. Uh, Pratis. I think that's his
oh,
name.
okay.
If I'm
Yeah,
not mistaken.
yeah.
Dog, man. So that dude's a killer. You gotta love my boy Chama, Alex Pereira. Man, just so many fights. Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira. Kind of, I just like those exciting fighters, man. The ones that put on the show. So.
Yeah, no, I definitely hear you there. It's funny you mentioned Gene Silva because like literally right before we started, the UFC announced Gene Silva versus Bryce Mitchell for UFC 314. How do you think that kind of goes down?
See, and I like Bryce Mitchell too. Man, that one's gonna be crazy. I gotta uh, Gene Silva and Bryce Mitchell. That's gonna be a crazy fight. Um, man, right now, I just don't see Gene like I don't see Silva like getting stopped right now. Like right now, he's just on the roll. You could tell he's feeling himself. He's fighting with that swag. He got the killer mentality. Right now, the dude is just on 10, bro. So I mean, it's just kind of hard to go against him. Even though I rock with Bryce, tough. Like AJ Cunningham is real close to Bryce, and that's my dude. I'm gonna be watching as a fan. We'll see how it goes, bro. I just don't see Gene. If Bryce can get him down, maybe we're on him. Then I could see that a key to victory. You know what I mean? Kind of take away some of that power. Maybe get takedowns early. But anyway, yeah, Gene is a monster, man.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I definitely think Gene's a monster, and I definitely agree. I think he's going to be hard to bet against, no doubt about it. And one thing about me is I'm a Taekwondo instructor. I've been teaching for about 6 years now, and I got a bunch of guys in my gym. What advice would you give to them to keep on coming in the gym and to get better and better every class?
So the advice I would give is to show up every day. It's something that you got to. Discipline is the most important thing. Right along with that discipline to show up daily. Uh, to really listen to the techniques that are being taught. Uh, Even whenever, sometimes you get just the daily, just showing up daily. Sometimes it's just, it's not always a happy feeling day. You might have been going through something at work, family. Outside the gym, there's so many things that could happen, but going inside the gym, you're in control of that outcome of what happens in that gym for that gym time. And so I would give advice like to somebody who wants to fight, somebody who's showing up, is to show up, just show up day to day, show up, listen to the instructors, really think about the techniques. And then when you get home, think about that technique some more. Visualize that technique working on not only your training partners, think about a future opponent already. That's just what like you might not even know the guy you'll be fighting against. You might not even you might be preparing for your first amateur fight. So you don't even know when you're gonna fight your first fight. But always just have that visualization of, okay, I got a training partner in front of me that I'm doing this on, but at some point I'm gonna do this on somebody else. If you're, looking to actually compete, um, somebody's just showing up to somebody showing up every single day to learn the techniques. Over time, it's inevitable that growth and the skill set is just gonna be where it needs to be because the mats don't lie. So yeah, I would say discipline to show up every single day, regardless how you're feeling. Those days you don't want to go, that's the day you need to pack your stuff and get there ASAP. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I definitely think that's a solid message, no doubt about it. And speaking of messages, John, I mean, what's maybe your final message out there for the fans watching this video?
My final message is, it's a marathon. This whole journey is a marathon. Nothing ever happens overnight. The grind just has to stay consistent. The dedication has to stay consistent. The discipline has to stay consistent. And you got to learn how to uh, hug on to the suffering in this fight game. Hug on to the suffering and be willing to pay the price to be successful day after day. And yeah, that's my final message. Is that's what I spit that because that's what I'm planning to do. I'm gonna hang up, or we're gonna get off this interview, and I'll be going into my dojo, finishing out the rounds that I started, do a little bit of workout, and then I'm gonna head out. You know what I mean? So the grind don't stop. That's my message. Stuck in the
Oh,
game. I'll be here to the end.
I like it, John. That's definitely a good message, my man. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you get back in the cage and enjoy training. And thank you so much for taking the time and coming on. It means a lot to me, my man.
Appreciate you, bro.